Yeah. Since 2019, we've been building mindset and purpose for real estate agents, entrepreneurs, leaders, people becoming more than they were yesterday.
Monday through Friday we rise. We win the morning, we win the mind. Faith over fear, pressure into purpose, confidence built through the work. Something good is gonna happen to me. Something good is gonna happen to me. I don't need all the answers, I just need belief. Becoming who I'm called to be, making impact bigger than me. God first, doubt steps back. When it gets heavy, we figure it out. You're not here by accident, you're part of the story. Stepping strong, stepping faith. Let's get your mindset right.
'Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning to you all. Happy Friday. Put happy Friday in the chat. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it now. Happy Friday to you all. Mr. John Hart, good morning to you. What up, Sarah? You better stay up, Sarah. You better stay up this morning. Good morning to you all. Dennis, Dustin, welcome back, brother. Good morning to you, Paul Hunter. What up, Hunter? Miss Joe, how are you? Come on, video all. I want to see you shining. Just because it's Friday, I know July is kind of that month where it's just like, Brock, I'm on vacation. Brock, I'm still getting my tail out of bed, getting myself together. So come on video if you're able to. Nothing crazy now. We don't need to see anything crazy in the morning. Okay. I talked to Jay and I told Jay this is a very clean family show. We don't need to see anything crazy, right, Mr. John Hart? Good morning to you, Katrina. What up, Robert? Good morning, Dennis. I hope you're feeling better, Dennis. I hope you are feeling better. Guys, good morning to you all. My name is Coach Brock Zevan. I'm a life coach, business coach, real estate coach, an agent, and a DAD. And I'm excited about this Friday, not because Jay's going to be on here, but look at Leo just came in the back over there. But I get my kids this weekend, so I'm excited to see them. Brielle comes back. She was at a church camp up at Lake Lure, which is about 2 hours north of Charlotte here. And it's always cool when she comes back and she shares with me her journal, what she's been writing. Love my parents to death, but I never had that experience. I never went to a retreat or a church retreat for a week. I was an altar boy. We went to Hershey Park in PA. That was kind of like my fun in the church atmosphere. But so got to get to see her this weekend, and then we ship her out again, John Hart. We ship her out again on Sunday. She goes to UNCC. She goes to Charlotte for soccer camp for about 4 days, 5 days. So never a dull moment over here. But today's guest all is somebody got to give a shout out to first Chris Reshitar, because Chris was the one that introduced me to our guest Jay, and we met I don't know a couple years ago, and I saw the guy, and he probably doesn't know this part of the story because obviously I didn't share it with him. But I saw him. He top insurance provider. He's works with Goosehead, and he runs his own firm. And just like I really didn't think anything of it because let's just be honest. I'm not trying to be mean, but we see vendors all the time at these events, and I was just like, okay, he does insurance. All right, moving on. And the first year, I said hello to him, but that was about the extent of the conversation. And then I heard him speak, and then I met one of his team members, Jared, and then we started talking more. And then I met him again, and I was like, I really like this guy. This guy's pretty like legit. How many of you know somebody who's legit and you're like, I gotta get in touch with that person? Drop a 5 in the chat. If you've like met somebody, had a conversation, or you had a conversation, you heard him, you're like, I gotta meet this person, right? So that was Jay. then we go, I was like, we finally connected. We had a little boys' date. We went out, we went to lunch, and then I got to hear his story. And I was just like, damn. I was like, wow, that's just like, and then it's like one thing ping ponged off of each other. We started talking. I was like, yeah, me too. And oh, yeah, I know that. And holy shit, seriously? Oh, wow. I'm like, man, I need you to have on Figured Out Friday. And then not only did we do that, but he came to Nashville. He was one of our sponsors in Nashville. And I've been blessed and thankful. I've been working and coaching his team for the last 6 months. And I'm sure they really enjoyed my text message I sent them this morning. And it's just, I love being able to pour into people who really want it. And Jay and his team are like that. He's an amazing father, amazing leader that I've been able to witness and see. He's a man of faith. And so please drop some tens in the chat. Let's double up the fives. Drop some tens, put some hearts in the chat for those of you who know how to do the emojis. And let's welcome my good friend Jay to the stage. Good morning, Jay.
Morning.
How are
Happy to be
you?
here.
You doing all right today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We've been up early with the kids, so I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Well, I could tell, man. Well, tell us a little bit about you. Give us that 10,000 foot overview
Yeah,
of who you are as a man, and so my audience here gets to know you.
yeah. I'm Jay Mcelveen. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina originally. So I'm from the upstate of South Carolina. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina with my wife and two daughters. We're 3 and 1. And I've been in the insurance industry for a very long time. I was in politics before that, and been in insurance about 15 years. Started my own firm about 10 years ago, and yeah, it's been a journey, and I'm excited to share some insights. We're not really going to talk too much about insurance today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more. We're going to get a little raw on this chat. So hopefully I connect with a few people in this chat so they get something out of it today. So
Well, I appreciate it. I remember, I don't know about you all, but drop a three in the chat. When he told me he was in politics, I was like, he's got that cute face, that politician face. I was just like, yeah, man, I could see in the political world
yeah,
over there. But it's a beast over there, and he was sharing me some stories. So we're gonna put his contact information on here, and he's somebody that I would definitely connect with later after the show because he's got some good stories. But tell us a little bit about, as I share with you all, when the guests come on, I tell them some defining moments. And I tell them you could be as spiritual as you want, you could be as vulnerable as you want, you can let the cat out of the bag. Whatever you feel like saying on here is going to help somebody today. So, Jay, as we unpacked some of your defining moments, share with us one that you really resonated with you that you want to bring to the table today.
yeah. I think today I kind of want to talk to you guys. Like I said, I don't really want to talk about business too much. I want to talk to you about guys about something that kind of haunted me a lot of my life, and hopefully it'll kind of connect with some of you that are in business. It definitely led to my business being successful, but it was a defining moment in my life. So, um, so most people think, know me as an insurance guy now, and if that's all they know about me, they don't know me very well, because the biggest battles I've ever fought weren't with competitors, employees, business problems. They were actually kind of in my own mind. Because kind of for years, I believed that I would just control, if I control enough, right? Enough money, enough employees, enough outcomes, enough clients, then I'd finally feel secure. And I think a lot of us feel that way. We're all in business. We want to be successful to feel secure. And the crazy part was that the more control I got, the more anxious I became. Um, I've owned my insurance agency for almost a decade. Built one of the largest agencies in the Southeast. We're millions of premiums, amazing employees, wonderful clients, great family. From the outside, I looked like I had it all, right? I
Mm.
looked successful. I looked happy. But I was absolutely exhausted. I was run down. I was beat up, and I kept putting a facade on. And I even hid it from my wife. Nobody really knew. Every problem became my problem, right? Every employee, every client, every email, every decision, every dollar, every mistake. I honestly believed that if I wasn't worrying, something bad would happen. And I wasn't running my business. My business was running me. And if you ever felt that way, it is very hard because, if you're your own business owner, you need to be the CEO. You need to be running the business. Well, the business was running me. It was running my life. And I'm a big fan of sports, Tom Brady being one of those. And he says that comfort is the enemy of progress. So but I also kind of I learned something else, that comfort can become the enemy of peace. Right. So, a few years ago, I started dealing with intense anxiety. Even led to a panic attack or two, that I just didn't understand what was going on. And I've talked to very big, CEOs that have dealt with the same things. The pressure built up. It was kind of like a volcano. It just built up, built up, built up. You were trying to be
Can I ask you
everything.
a question?
Yeah.
Like, how long is this going on? Like, how long is this inside? Because I know there's a lot of people on here who go through this anxiety, stress, up late at night. Like, you're constantly, I mean, like constantly, your brain never turns off, and the lack of sleep, and you just think like, I'm sure this wasn't just like, well, this was just a day or a week. Like, how long was this going on in your head?
Um, when I was in politics, I wasn't a politician. Let's get that right. I'm not a politician, but I was working for a politics in DC, and I was blessed to work for an amazing senator. And when he resigned from the Senate, that's when I got an insurance. But during that time, I had anxiety. I was under a lot of pressure, and it caused a lot of anxiety and things. But I didn't really know what was going on. I just I was young. I was
We
having
don't know. We
fun.
don't know.
No, I didn't think anything was wrong, and I was just resisting it. I was like, whatever. Maybe drink another drink or something like that, just drown it out, numb it as much as I can. I'm fine. I'm 25. And then it really got bad when I started my business. The first 2 years in was pretty intense. Like, just you were on the go all the time, and it was okay. I was excited, right? I was starting a business. It didn't bother me as bad. And then I guess probably my third or fourth year in the business is when it really started to kick in. And that's when, the business was great, right? I kept asking, what is wrong with me?
Isn't
But
it
the
funny
better
how we
question,
pointed on ourselves?
oh, of course, and what you really need to be asking is, what are you holding on to so tightly? And that was kind of the turning point for me. I finally realized something, that I wasn't afraid of failure. I was afraid of uncertainty.
Mm.
So, and uncertainty cannot be controlled. And it's something I've had to learn. The harder I tried to control life, the worse I felt. The more I surrendered, the calmer I became. So, and I
Say
hated,
that
I was
again.
so,
Say that again. Say that again. The more you
yeah, yeah.
surrender. Say that again.
So, the more I surrendered, the calmer I became. So
Mm.
I'll talk about in a few minutes. I'll talk about surrender, because I want people to understand that surrender and giving up are completely different things. Surrender is not giving up in any way, shape, or form. It's understanding that you cannot control everything. We try so much to have control over everything in our lives. And that is exactly the root of all evil. That is the root of a lot of your problems. Because I know there's got to be some people on this call that are struggling with something, or have struggled in the past, or will struggle. And so I understand those things. Another sports figure I love is Michael Jordan. And he said, I failed over and over and over, and that's why I succeeded. I was so scared of failure. I thought it meant that, it was me personally. If I failed, that was the end for me. And but Michael Jordan understood something, and that was success isn't avoiding failure; it's learning not to fear it. So letting go. So that's why I want to talk about surrender, not giving up, right? There's a huge difference. So people confuse surrender with quitting. They're completely different. Quitting says, I don't care. And surrender is, I accept that I can't control everything. Those are worlds apart. So, when we no longer are able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves, right? I couldn't control what I was feeling, so I had to change. So it kind of came to a point in my life where what changed for me is I became a better father. I became a better husband, a better leader. And ironically, the less I tried to control people, the better they performed. So get that, right? You think you have to control all your employees and everything. And I was in that box trying to control everything or control my clients or control all the situations. And, I'm a huge fan. It's crazy to say, but for the longest time, I saw a number 1229 on the clock. I'm a big Christian, but I prayed to God, what does this number mean? I still see it. I still see it almost once every other day. It's the craziest thing. I don't look for the number.
Wow.
I promise. Like the other day, I was checking out at the convenience store. It was 1229, and I'm like, man, this is God. So Romans 12:2-9, it talks about the renewing of your mind. And I'm a huge believer in this. And when I found that out, I was like, man, this hits home with me. I had to renew my mind. I quit trying to force outcomes. I focused on showing up every day, doing the next right thing, and letting life kind of unfold. So I'm not the biggest fan of Steve Jobs, but I like what he says. Is he's got a quote that says, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward." And I've learned that most of the things I thought were ruining my life end up shaping it. So I think a lot of entrepreneurs and realtors, lenders, we're all running our own business. I think a lot of us have this backwards. We think confidence comes from certainty, and it doesn't. Confidence comes from knowing you'll be okay, even when things don't go according to plan. So, that's been a huge thing in my life. The thing I thought was so hard on me, the anxiety and the pressure of building my business, was actually what was shaping it, was molding me into the person I am now. I built, a successful business, but that's not even, that's all. It's not about the money to me. It's really not at this point. It's about growing my team, seeing these guys thrive, seeing other people thrive, helping people who have gone or are going through certain things in their lives. They think that they'll never think this is just me, when it's not. What you're feeling or have felt is completely normal. Everybody feels it. Everybody just hides it. That's the fact of the matter. They don't want to talk about it. They think something's wrong with them, so they numb it. And I can promise you that's the worst thing you can do. Nothing's wrong with you. I want people to understand that. Nothing was wrong with me the entire time. I was just putting so much pressure on myself because I needed to feel control. And that was the one thing that was debilitating me, was control.
And how did you, so when you're going through this, and a couple things I wrote down was, well, one was faith, because I too lack that, when you have that uncertainty of not knowing, and just like, whoa, like you said, you want to control everything. And I'm just like, you know what? I just gotta let God run this show, because I've tried to run it my way for a very long period of time, and it just doesn't work when Brock's at the steering wheel. But not but when you went, like, unpacking this, like, I'm sure you just didn't wake up. You're like, I know what it is. I just gotta let go. You know what, hon?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let go starting today. Not a problem at all. From now on, I'm letting go. Or like, how did you get to that step? Was it like reading books? Was it getting a mentor? Was it like going for long walks? Like, what took you through that? So somebody who's like, man, damn, that's me. Like, but what did he do? What was that process like for you to start to become the person you are today? Anything you could share with us?
Yeah. I have a library of books, of course. You can try to throw everything at it. You can try to read every book. But again, that's trying to control it, right? In a way, you're kind of doing a compulsion in a way where you're trying to control it. But what people don't understand is, what you resist persists, and it actually compounds. So you're resisting emotions in a way, and you're resisting, your body's just trying to release something, and I didn't realize that. I thought, like, if I controlled everything, that was going to bring me success. That was going to bring me happiness, right? So many people think, and I'll get back on that, but so many people think, oh, then if I make this amount of money, if I have this car, if I have this house, if I have this many likes on Instagram, I'm going to feel secure. Well, I assure you that is not going to. And if you keep going down that road, you're going to never find security. You're never going to find happiness, because that is not what brings you to happiness. That's not what brings you security. I promise you it does not. I have been down those dark roads. It does not bring you security. It'll bring you maybe temporary happiness, but you'll just be right. You keep moving the field goal post, right? So what I did is I started doing some research. Obviously, I wanted to research, like, who can I reach out to mentor wise? Who can I reach out to that struggled with this before, when they've been either a CEO or whatever, an executive at some point, or just running their own business, or it's just somebody working for somebody. Who do I need to reach out to? So I reached out to some people, some mentors, and I went to therapy, things like that. I thought a guy named Matt Cotty changed my life too. He's a guy that deals with a lot of anxiety and stuff. A great business guy out in California. He was amazing. But I've worked with him for years. But he's kind of like my business coach now. But he's taught me a lot about business and dealing with control, things of that nature in business. And but it's more or less, you've got to understand yourself. I went to we've had him on the show, Kyle Holland. Kyle's a great buddy of mine, and I talked to him about it, and we started getting my health in line. I lost 30 pounds. I started getting in shape. I mean, a huge thing for people who need routines and who are big entrepreneurs, who type A, that we need routines. We need to be active. I love to work out, things of this nature. I changed my life by doing those things. You need to make sure, a lot of the thing is, you need to kind of dial in your diet a little bit. You would be surprised what your gut kind of controls in your body. But I dialed in my diet. Obviously faith played a huge role in it, but that's not the only thing, right? You can't just pray that anxiety will go away or your control will go away. That's just not going to work. I mean, it'll help for sure, but you've got to take steps, and it's slow.
They say in the Bible, prayer without works is dead. So
Right.
like, you can pray, but you gotta get to the other side. Like, you gotta put the activities in there too.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll make you a better person. I mean, going through these things, you grow through what you go through. Remember that.
Yeah.
And what you're going through right now is, or if you're going through it, if you ever have, or if you're going to, it is completely meant to be. It's not the end of the world. So many people think it is, and they think it's just them. It's not. It's really not. But I'm happy to talk to people one-on-one about it. I've talked to a lot of people and coached a lot of people through it, who are people in business, and a lot of people, like I said, they just numb it, they hide it, and they become workaholics to fight it. But again, you're just kind of pushing the field goal post out further and further.
So as we transition, I was just looking at the clock. I'm like, damn, it's already 8:40. What are you trying to figure out today? Like, you've battled this anxiety. You've got yourself in a successful. You just came back from Italy. Once again on the outside, it's it looks like this beautiful. Everything is bliss, and it very well is. But as an entrepreneur, somebody who's continuously growing and doing that, what's something today that you're trying to figure out in your life personally?
Today, I'm figuring out how to be present still, right? How to build an incredible business without sacrificing my peace. How to chase excellence without needing perfection. How to lead without needing to control every outcome. What I want people to really, what I want to leave you with, I guess, is this, like, life becomes lighter the moment you stop trying to carry the things that you were never yours to carry. Remember that, like, you control your effort, you control your attitude, you control your integrity. Everything else is borrowed. So if you're waiting until life feels certain before you can start living, you're going to wait forever. So, I thought control would give me peace. And today I know that peace is what gives you control. So slow down a little bit, get back to the basics, and just trust yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. So um, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out today, though, is be more present for everybody the best I can, to be, in the present, not in the future, the past.
It's so hard because I say that many times as well. Um, when the working from home, especially for me, is, Dad, it's summertime. Dad, can we do this? Dad, can you come out and play? Dad, Dad, Dad. And it's just like, yes, yeah, I'm getting there. And I'm listening. And when he says this, be present all. I want you guys to really lean into this. Stop what you're doing and lean into this. Listen to what you say, because I've noticed that I've said this to both my kids and anybody who's around me when I'm in my zone, not present. I'm saying, just a minute, just a minute. I counted one time, like, and I was being purposeful of counting. At one day while the kids were home, I must have said it at least 20 times. I'm like, what is wrong? Like, either figure out a plan, Brock, or stop saying just a minute, because I'm never present, because I'm constantly trying to do something else or be somebody else that I'm like, and when you said that, I'm like, that is so important, all that if you're supposed to be with your kids, be with your kids. If you're supposed to be at work, be at work. If you're supposed to be praying, pray. If you're supposed to be working out, working out. How many times I see people at the gym sitting on the damn equipment that I want, and he's on his cell phone for like 20 minutes. I'm like, bud, like, that's not a desk. It's a piece of equipment. But being present, like, really resonated with me when you said that, and I'm sure others on here. So I don't know if you let the cat out of the bag yet, but my infamous question, and I always ask people, is the one thing that changed my life and was reading the book, The One Thing. But what's the one thing you'd like to leave us with today before we get into our weekend?
Um, Again, I think it comes back to life becomes lighter when you understand you're trying to carry things that were never meant yours to carry.
Mm,
Um, you're carrying things that, not to get too much spiritual on you, but God tells you to put at his feet. You're carrying things you shouldn't be carrying. You're worrying about things you shouldn't be worrying about. I know in your mind right now, you're like, well, Jay, I have these bills and I have this, I have my kids, I have this sickness, I have this. I understand. We all have something going on. You never know what's going on behind the scenes for somebody. So keep that in mind when you're talking to people. But I understand things are going on, but at the end of the day, we're all sinners. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all human. Remember that. Give yourself some grace today. There is
mm,
plenty of hope out there. Give yourself a little bit of grace. Pat yourself on the back. Look how far you've come. There's a book that's called The Gap and the Gain. Don't look at the
mm.
gap. Look at the gain. Look how far you have come. You've made it this far. You've made it through 100% of your hardest days, and you'll make it on. You'll make it through the rest. You just take one day at a time and be patient and have faith, and again, give yourself grace. So be proud of
Man, dude.
yourself.
I think you just dropped about five things right there. Give yourself grace, take one day at a time. Oh man. Guys, drop a five in the chat for Jay. Drop a five in the chat. If you got something on it today, he triggered something inside of you. He helped you in some capacity, in some way. Maybe it could be one little word that he said. Could have been Romans 12. I had no idea about that, by the way. It could be, you could be having anxiety. You could be having that in there. Jay, if you can, drop your phone number in the chat, or
Yeah.
a number that people can reach out to you. We're going to put your Facebook and all that stuff in there, but we're all about really being family in here. And I put my phone number in here. Anybody else that wants to put their phone number in here, you go ahead right now, because you could help somebody else out. You could have seen somebody today that been like, I've been wanting to talk to this person. I've been wanting to reach out to this person. And I want to just say thank you for being vulnerable, being open, because it's so important to understand that on your journey, your path of growing and becoming the person you are, We have shit storms, we have problems, obstacles, and guess what? We're not done with them. There's probably another one right around the corner, but guess what? We're built better, we're built stronger now than we were before, and we're helping more. So, Jay, from the bottom of my heart, my brother, I appreciate you, man, and for sharing this morning.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, God bless. Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you listening.
Guys, I appreciate everybody being on here this morning. Thank you for all those who've been inviting others on here. We see a couple new people that are on here for a Friday on a July. It's great to see that we've had over 40 people on here this morning. Continue to invite people, as Chet says, and I'm holding to it because I called him after. I said, listen, brother, are you really going to come out here and do this and do a happy hour for everybody? Because you know me, I'll blow it up. I'll have some people out here. And if it's on you, I said, I'll spend your money real easy. So continue to invite people, continue to ask people to join this group, and also our Facebook page. So Jay, if you could make sure you put our Facebook page in here, our private Facebook page, engage with people. If you have questions for Jay, you want to talk to him more, please feel free to reach out to him. We'll keep the chat open for a little bit longer, so that way those can scroll through, screenshot phone numbers, look at things. So I appreciate you all being on here. Guys, we'll be back Monday at 8:15 Eastern Time. Have a safe weekend. Be healthy. Be happy. God bless you all. Till then, see ya.